Okay, hello everyone. Today we continue with some more questions from the internet. So the question is, you said that the pain, the more pain we bear, the quicker we break through. I've been crossing my legs for almost a month now. I started out with 15 minutes, increased to 2 hours and 20 minutes in about 3 weeks. Impressive, huh? That was a one-time thing as I work a lot. The last few days I started to feel cold even though the weather is not that cold. Is that normal? I continue to cross my legs until I get more teaching. I will not give up even though I feel so yucky. I think she means icky. I hope to get the answer from listening to your Dharma. Okay. When I first started meditating, I was taught by my late Chinese teacher, Master YongHua. So one of his disciples is Malaysian. His name is Heng De. He lives here in Orange County, I believe, in one of those Vietnamese temples. Usually it's a sidekick of Master Heng Chang. So anyway, so he taught me all those things. I followed them, followed the instructions, did those spiritual exercises, and it's nonsense. Okay, that's how I learned meditation, is listen to different teachers and they tell me different things, and it's trial and error until it's doesn't work. It's just, I realize it doesn't work. It's nonsense. And then later on, after I understood a little bit more about meditation, it's through following my teacher's instructions, Chan instructions. Back then, there's no Chan handbook or anything like that. So it's listening here and there. And funny thing is that the one thing that got my mind when I first started is that bear the pain. That's it, bear the pain. Okay, and that's what I did. I conquered my pain, my fear of pain, like most of us have. Is we are afraid of pain. We don't like pain. I wasn't afraid of pain, I just didn't like it. Okay. And little did I know that that instruction is typical of our Wei-Yang Chan lineage training. You know, of all the things I read, all the things I listened to, all the nonsense his teachers, his students told me, I listened to many of them, high level to low level. Okay, they all call themselves Chan experts. And somehow I went with that challenge. Sit until it no longer hurts. Okay, and that is the essence of the Wei-Yang training. So this is to share with you that I lucked out, or you could say that I had prior blessings. That's why of all the discordant, the different, the contradictory instructions, I somehow picked out something that is Wei-Yang training. Okay. Of course, his disciples' instructions also Wei-Yang, but low level Wei-Yang. Wei-Yang is very high. It's from low to very high as well. So it turns out, for some reason, I stuck with that top tier Wei-Yang instructions. Okay. Would you like to know what Wei-Yang is? Because I pondered about that since I started teaching Chan, and I said, we are Wei-Yang. So what is Wei-Yang thing? And no one could tell me what Wei-Yang is. No one. It's no, even master, the patriarchs of Wei-Yang, they don't explain to you what Wei-Yang is. The Chinese is weird. They call themselves Wei-Yang school. What's the other schools? Linji school. Okay, Linji is easy to understand. You know, they beat you up, they scold you, they scream at you. Okay, that's Linji. But Wei-Yang, no one could tell me what Wei-Yang is. Ask his disciples, they don't know what it is. Okay, so over the years, when I started teaching, and I said, I started by saying that I don't know Chan, I only repeating to you what I learned from my late Chinese teacher. He's a Wei-Yang patriarch, and that's it. So everyone bought into it. And I started saying, this is the one thing I learned, is to sit in full lotus and then bear the pain. Okay, and I looked out again, and my disciples looked out again because they had blessings. That's why they followed my instructions. Okay, so over the years, I finally understood. You know, since I listened to his disciples, or whatever his name is, his monk who organized, I believe, a Chan retreat, introduction to Chan at the mountain temple, Snow Mountain Temple in Seattle. But there's a lot about Wei-Yang, but it turns out Wei-Yang is one of the most advanced Chan training that I'm aware of, that I know of, and that I'm very proud to be able to share with you all these things. Of course, I don't know all the Wei-Yang training, but because my level is very low. But it turns out one characteristic of the Wei-Yang training is to ask you to do something that's difficult for you to do. In Linji, they beat you up, they scream at you, they yell at you, they brutalize you, verbally and physically. That's the style. Is it clear? You know what I'm talking about, right? Linji, Rinzai in Japanese. Yes? Very famous. They're famous for that. Wei-Yang, we ask you to do something is difficult. So depending on who you are, it gets more and more difficult. Are you okay, sir? I hear you coughing. Okay. Don't be scared. Okay. Anyway, so in Wei-Yang training, we ask you to do something difficult that you don't like to do. All right? So it starts out, it's the first test for all of us, is a cross your legs in full lotus and bear the pain. That's Wei-Yang training right there. You see that? And it gets more interesting as you become more advanced. Okay? You go to Master Wei Shan's level, then it changes to something else. Okay? Or Yang Shan, his disciple, his direct descendant, the first descendant of the Wei Yang lineage. Okay? The second patriarch in Wei Yang school. Then at their level, the assignment is different, but it's very, very difficult, much, much more difficult than crossing your legs and bear the pain. I assure you, no one else can explain it to you like that, because I finally figured out what Wei Yang training is, from low to Master Wei Shan's level. Okay? I'm sharing it with you for you to appreciate this is how generous Master YongHua is, my late Chinese teacher is, okay? To share with us all these Wei Yang training tips that will bring you to his level and bring you to the Wei Shan level. They're not holding back. You know that? They're not holding back. Whereas you go into Linji, it's not for sure you can get to Linji's level, being beaten up and being chastised and being brutalized, verbally and physically. Okay? It's not for sure. However, in Wei Yang training, okay, you can get to Master Wei Shan's level. You can get to Master YongHua's level. You can get to Yang Shan's level with the instructions. And I assure you, okay, we are a lot more brutal, a lot more demanding than Linji. We don't need to beat you up physically. Not at all. Okay? To beat you up physically works up to a certain level, and beyond that, it doesn't work anymore. Okay? I call it low level. You reach a certain level, the pain, physical pain or mental pain doesn't work anymore. Okay? Whereas Wei Yang, the pain continues. We are a lot more cruel than the other schools I know of. Okay? So when you start out, we tell you to bear the pain. And of course, most of you don't like it, you quit. You say, oh, this is too much. They are unreasonable. I go to another place where I am much more appreciated. Where people are more reasonable, more civilized. It takes a lot of blessings to be able to bear it. Now that, the more you bear, the quicker you progress, quicker you break through. That's correct. All right? It's you who have to decide to bear it. If you really want to progress, you want to break through, you have to bear it. No matter how difficult it is, that's Wei Yang. So we give you, that's what you don't, it starts first with you crossing your legs. Then next we ask you something else. We ask you to do something else. Ask each one of you to do something else. And you say, How come you make me work with someone who's been with you for 10 years, and this woman is so angry? And you tell me her skill level is higher than mine, and she's so angry. Okay? That doesn't make sense to you, right? You don't like it, quit. And the Wei-Yang training stops. How's that? This is a Wei-Yang training secret. It's very difficult. You are asked to do increasingly more difficult things. And the quicker you accomplish those assignments, the more difficult it gets. There's no end to it. Okay? Any questions or comments? See, I got bored when you asked me this question like this. I've been teaching for 15 years now. And if every week I come here and you ask me the same thing over and over again, I need to come up with different ways to explain to you. Otherwise, you get bored. Say, can I refer you to tape lecture number 15 times 52? How many hundreds is that? 600-700. Lecture number 413. Okay. So anyway, so you bear it, you cross your legs, and this person is pretty good. Started out 15 minutes, you see. She has blessings, and she went up to 2 hours and 20 minutes in 3 weeks. That's impressive. You know how long it took me to go to 1 hour and a half? About a month. About a month and a half. Something like that. I don't remember anymore. With this what they call it, ALS or something. Something when you lose your memory. Not dementia. Don't scare me. Alzheimer's. There you go. I'm losing my memory. So 2 hours and 20 minutes in 3 weeks. That's impressive. This lady here has blessings. Clearly. Okay? If you have blessings, you listen, you hear Wei-Yang instruction, you're not afraid. You say, okay, I do it. That's how you engage yourself. Is it clear? You have no doubt. You don't have enough blessings, not much we can do. Go to a nicer temple. All right? Any questions? What? Internet question, YouTube question. Yes.
Good morning, Master. YouTube question from Relax Nation. Where does oneness fit in? Is oneness a dhyana?
Oneness is an English translation. I don't know where the source is. You have to be careful. Just like, never mind about oneness, what about enlightenment? Everyone heard about enlightenment, right? When people tell you about enlightenment, you say, I want to know about enlightenment, I'm going towards enlightenment. You have to ask them, where did you hear the word from? Enlightenment. Okay? Enlightenment from the non-Buddhist means different things. Enlightenment from the Hinayana, Theravadins, or they like to call themselves, okay, that's another thing. Enlightenment from Mahayana is a different thing. So be careful when this person mentions oneness, okay? And I heard it before when I was a novice. Someone came to me, some Caucasian came to me and said, I've been reading up on Buddhism. I like the oneness principle. when I said I didn't understand what he meant by oneness, it terrified me. He said, my God, it's so difficult to be a monk. Yeah, people come and talk to you, give you nonsense, and you must pretend you understand. So I pretended to be busy, so I walked away. So my first reaction is, I'm teaching you, is ask them, what is oneness to you? Where do you pick it up from? Where is your source of reference? Okay? Is that person available, or should we continue later, at a future date? Their oneness is different from my oneness. I'll tell you that right now. So when you ask me oneness, I need to know where you're coming from, okay? Then I can explain from your perspective. I explain it from my perspective. It means nothing to you. All right? So be careful. So that's why when you come in person, you ask me oneness, I look at you, oh, okay, so what is oneness to you? Where do you learn that from? Is it Master YongHua? Is it some kind of academician? Is it this sutra, that sutra? Okay. And then it's easier for me to have a point of reference to answer you. All right? Let's give that person a chance to come back to us. All right? Next. Continue, question 6 continue. The last few days, I started to feel cold even though the weather is not that cold. Okay, is that normal? Absolutely, that's normal. Anything that happens to you when you meditate is normal. Have no fear, it's normal. Okay? It hurts a lot, it's normal. It's cold, you're cold, it's normal. You're hot, it's normal. You feel ickier, it's normal. You feel great, that's abnormal. Okay? Don't worry, it's called a state. Cold, warm, ickiness, pain, fear. That's normal because it's just a state. That's a temporary state. It will change. It's long enough, it will cease to be cold. Okay? You feel a lot more comfortable. Okay? And then the pain comes back. Okay, it's no longer comfortable. It's all normal. Okay, that's part of meditation. I'll continue to cross my legs until I get more teaching. Good luck. Okay, you may cross your legs, but you may not get more teaching. Okay, don't ever assume you get more teaching. Okay, and that's not normal to get more teaching. It's more normal not to get more teaching, not to get more instructions. Okay? Because you get more instructions when it's time. Not because you ask for it. If you ask for it, don't trust those instructions. Those are sales pitches. Okay? In a true Wei-Yang training, no instructions until you really need it. Okay? If you're good, there's no instructions. The explanation I give you every week is because you're not good enough. How's that? Serious. You think you're good? Then why you ask for our instructions? I will not give up even though I feel so yucky. Okay, welcome to the club. I hope to get the answer from listening to your Dharma. Good luck. Next question. How do I dump my petty thoughts? Why do you have to dump them? Petty thoughts are normal. Why you keep on wanting to dump normal things? What are petty thoughts? I have no clue what she's asking about. Are there such a thing as petty thoughts? Who's petty? I rest my case. You see that? Only she's petty. Hey, Yarit. Jared. He's such concentration. Are you petty? What is petty? See, even Jared said, what? What's petty? Petty is adult thoughts. Children don't have petty thoughts. There you go. Okay. All right. How do I dump my petty thoughts? Anyone knows how to dump your petty thoughts? I don't have any petty thoughts, so I don't know how to dump them. Never had to dump petty thoughts. So, anyone? Raise your hands. How did you dump your petty thoughts? Okay, someone has some experience. Black.
Master, I would think just consider it like any thought. It doesn't have to be petty. You just drop it.
Okay, just like any thought, drop the thoughts. But they keep on coming back is the meaning of this question. They keep on coming back. You drop it and it comes back. And then it comes back again. No matter how long you sit.
And you just keep dropping it every time.
Keep dropping it.
Keep dropping it.
There's no end to it. Yes, orange in the back.
Last time, I think last Sunday, when you lectured the Sixth Patriarch Sutra, he said something about like, I don't do anything about my thoughts. I just, or what I got. He said like, I don't do anything about it. I just let it be there. Like,
Let it be. Let it be. Okay.
Yeah.
And like this song says, let it be. Let it be. Okay, White.
Well, Master, I think I have 2 points to bring up. One is the person would probably benefit if they were involved with other people meditating, Sangha, or other people that
All right.
are
Like,
similar to them.
what if you involve other people who are more petty than you? How does it help?
The second part is he or she answers the dilemma on the last sentence. I just watch and then go back to my leg pain. That's as good of a use of discontinuing thoughts as there is. Just watch them and then go back to nothing in particular.
Oh, okay. Anyone else? That's very good. You see, she's found a way already, right? From sitting longer, bearing the leg pace, naturally she'll understand this is how you solve, that's how you deal with it. Very good. She knows her. So why does she keep on asking for this? Because you still haven't answered my question. Her concern is that I know I watch it and I come back to go watch it and go back my leg pain, but then the thoughts keep on coming back. Okay? And that's what bothers her. She says, these thoughts are so petty. I didn't realize how petty I am. They keep on coming at me. Is it me? This is my interpretation. Does it make sense to you? You see, I'm not a petty person. That's why I have no clue. Okay? So the point here is that isn't it wonderful she really realizes she has petty thoughts? Huh? Isn't it wonderful? And that it bothers her? Okay? That's how wonderful Chan is. She's complaining. Why do you want to dump her petty thoughts? I would say, oh, how wonderful it is. I see my petty thoughts. Because normally, how many of you are aware that you have petty thoughts? Not many of you. Put your hands down. Play along. But what petty thoughts? We don't have petty thoughts. We are true Chan cultivators. We have no petty thoughts. Okay? So it's fantastic that you see these thoughts that you don't like. Because typically we're too busy looking outside. Yes? Plotting, scheming. What are we going to have next for lunch? Yes? Smells good. Why is she here? She said Yin is here. She said she would cook on the weekend. Why is she here? Why isn't she cooking? I've been wondering for the last half hour. When is she going to leave? Do we have food to eat for lunch today or not? It's been bothering me. I would not call it petty thoughts, but it's real thoughts. That's all I worried about. I don't worry about petty thoughts.
Mô Phật và Thầy, cái đó phải cần suy nghĩ phải.
Cái gì? Tại sao không đi nấu mà cứ ngồi đây vẫn không chịu đi nấu ăn? Đồ ăn trưa đâu? She told me last week, I said, I'm going to come back. I want to cook on weekends only, no weekdays. I said, oh, goody. Then my chief cook can rest on the weekend. So I told her, I said, hey, you can rest on the weekend. Yin is coming back to doing weekends. Lo and behold, this morning I came in at 9 o'clock. She's still here. These people only talk. My Shiva disciples, they talk too much. They don't do anything. Okay? So, we don't pay attention to our thoughts. It's wonderful. We're aware of our thoughts. And we're aware of the kind of thoughts that we don't like. That is the requisite for getting rid of them. It bothers her. That's why she says, why do I have so many petty thoughts? Yes? And if you don't like them, naturally, you get rid of them eventually. Okay? Agree, disagree. Again, I have no experience, with that, so you have to help me out. Those of you who have this experience where you sit there, all these petty thoughts came up in your heads, okay? My mother is not fair to me. She gives preferential treatment to my sister, not me, Daddy, prefers the boys over girls, and so forth, okay? And the answer is, if you sit long enough, eventually you outgrow these petty thoughts, okay? And the petty thoughts become more refined. That's a natural process. All right? So it's a great thing. If it bothers you, eventually you get rid of them. You like them, the danger is when you like those thoughts. Okay? When you say, oh, I have so many petty thoughts, so wonderful, that's when you should be worried. Make sense? Look, I have another petty thought. Oh my God, I didn't realize I have such petty thoughts. And that's when you worry. Then you come to me. But when you have petty thoughts, they bothers you, please don't bother me. Okay? Because that's the nature we all have. We don't like it, eventually we'll get rid of it, right? Like our girlfriends. Notice, remember? I remember vaguely. It's Alzheimer's, you know. God bless those girls. Okay? It's natural. You don't like them, you will get rid of them, period. It's when you like them, that's when the problem comes, you know. Marriage and all those things. So. Very difficult assignments. Okay, just watch it and go back to my leg pain. So just watch it. You say, oh, another petty thoughts. And then go back to your leg pains, you see. Even if you like to watch those petty thoughts, the leg pains will, if you like to watch those petty thoughts, the legs will hurt a lot more. Sounds familiar? Again, I have no experience, such experiences, but it shows you how much I understand about Chan meditation. Okay? So the leg pains supersedes them all. And you know what happens? You like to say, oh, how wonderful, these wonderful petty thoughts. Like I taught you, oh, how wonderful it is to have these petty thoughts. Oh my God, the more wonderful you find it, the more it hurts. Right? You'll find out. And then it hurts, and then pretty soon, the only thing you have left in your head is the hurt. No more petty thoughts. And that's how you get rid of it naturally. Okay? That's the brute force way. And eventually, if you keep on doing it like Black said earlier, then eventually, as you progress, you naturally will get rid of those petty thoughts. That's natural. As you progress higher and higher, your petty thoughts become less petty, if you will, to the point where you have no more petty thoughts. Ching, a halo, behind you. Okay? Is there a better way to sever them? No, not I know of. Yes, of course there is. It's a paying session, not a non-paying session. Next. My question is, am I overdoing this? Overdoing is one word. And sitting full lotus too long and too much, I also sit in half lotus when I'm at work when I can. Why aren't you in full lotus at work? That's all I have to say. Would you like to add anything, anyone? Okay. Any other questions, comments? Yes, YouTube.
Yes, there we got a response from Relax Nation in regards to their earlier question as to where they got the term oneness.
Yes.
The response is, I've been studying your Dhyana perspective videos about desire and form realms.
Okay. Form realm has no oneness. So now this person blames it on me. Oneness comes from you. Good try. And my answer is, I don't recall. It smells so good, so I don't recall. It smells like mushroom. Oneness. Anyone understands what oneness is? And now this person says oneness is a Mahayana concept, so the pressure is on us. What is oneness here? Okay. First of all, when I talk about form realm and desire realm, there's no oneness. There's too low a level to talk about oneness. Oneness is much higher level. Okay. Number one. Number two, don't worry about these words. Okay. The difference between Chan training and lectures or the other Chan training is that, you notice, I've been teaching this for 15 years. I rarely go into technical stuff. Okay? I don't go into oneness. I avoid going to oneness because I can't explain it to you. Okay? I don't go into concepts like non-duality. Anyone heard that before? Non-duality? That's another word for oneness. Okay? If you haven't heard of it, then I haven't talked about oneness. Okay? So these concepts are not meant for you to understand. If you ask me, explain oneness, explain non-duality, I say, I don't know how to explain it to you. Okay? Because it's not possible to explain to you. Okay? It's not possible for me to tell you how to dump petty thoughts. Okay? I can give you a theory. The oneness concept is a theory. Okay? Chan is very little theory. You don't need a theory to do Chan. That's why part of the Chan nature is why. What is it? What's a Chinese word for that? All the four characteristics of Chan. 外教别传, something like that. 外教别传, 外giáo biệt truyền. Okay, in Chinese. Okay. 外教, outside of the teaching. 别传, what's 别传? 别 is come on, Chinese people.
Other.
What happened to my Chinese professor? She only checks in here and there now and then, so I can't count on her, can I? 别传, what's 别 in Chinese? I'm asking a Chinese to help us explain. Chinese or Korean, whoever understands Chinese, please help us out. 别传. 外教 is outside of the teaching. 别传. What's 别传? Chinese people. Anyone who understands Chinese, please teach me. Chinese are not cooperating because they know as soon as they open their mouth, say, no, it's not quite the Chinese you think it is. They know me by now. And I'm not going to get embarrassed because eventually Master is like, see, you Chinese people don't even understand your own language. Go ahead, Chinese people. Yes, orange. What's 别传? What's 别? What's 传?
别 means others,
Yes.
and 传 means transmission.
So, what does it mean? Hey, Shanghai person, what does 别传 mean?
Do not transmit to that's not within the teaching.
Master, there's also the 不立文字 part.
We don't have enough time for that. I'm only talking with 别传, okay? See? It goes to prove the Taiwanese don't get it, the Shanghai people don't get it. I challenged them already. I said, that my conclusion, well, no matter what they say in the conclusion, they don't understand their own language. That's Chan. Chan language is not the regular language that people think it is. It's not. So you can read it. The Chinese read it. They say, "Oh, I know what Bie is. I know what Chuan is. I know what Y is. I know what Jiao is. So Y Jiao Bie Chuan, whatever. Okay, I know what it is, but it's not what you think. That's the nature of Chan instructions, Chan teachings." Okay, let me explain to you what 外教. 外教 meaning that 教 outside of the teaching. Teaching meaning all these theories. Oneness is one of the theories in Mahayana that is not available in Hinayana, Theravada, or non-Buddhists. They don't have a concept of oneness. So when they talk about oneness, those people, they have no idea what they're talking about. Okay? Even my late Chinese teacher disciples who translated a lot of things, they don't know what oneness is. All those people who translated, whether it's especially those Vietnamese guys, okay? No oneness. Chinese people, no oneness. The only, oneness to them is this word. It's not the word. That's a problem when you translate. You only translate if these Chinese people, they understand their own language. And I tell you, please explain to me. I just proved to you. Please explain to me what 外教别传 is. It's a very simple language. They don't even know what it is. So how can you go to some concept called oneness for them to understand? Of course they don't understand. Even those people who translate don't understand what it is. They understand, you only understand the words, like these Chinese people. That's it. Okay? So 外教, this is why I'm helping you, next generation, deal with those bookworms who come in and say, "Master, what is oneness? What is non-duality? What is all those important concepts?" I say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're asking. I don't know how can I explain it to you." Okay? Because if you understand, you wouldn't ask. Okay? Are you paying attention? Hey. Hey, children, if they understand, they wouldn't ask. If they ask, there's no way to explain to them. So what do? If they asked, then the answer, yes, white.
I've got an idea running around my mind, Master. I'd like to speak to you about, see if it makes
About
sense.
oneness?
Yes.
Absolutely, by all means. Or you can talk about the Chinese people too, how little they know about their own language.
Tron, if you're teaching someone and you are learning from a teacher, that's transmission. If that's transmission, then eventually that's going to be, you are thus and I am thus.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes, that's very good. Mm-hmm. It sounds good, but you don't know what you're talking about. So I look at you and say, you can say anything you want, but I know where you are already, so it's not fair. So each level, you can understand so much. It's not words, okay? It's your ability to understand. Like, we cannot explain arithmetic to Alung, a 3-year-old boy, or even Helen. Explain to her about TikTok, she'll understand. But you explain to her about geometry and statistics and physics, forget it. Get my point? Okay? Because that's why, let me explain to you this Biệt here. Never mind about the rest of it, because I don't have a lot of time left, only a few minutes left. Okay? Biệt, I explained Biệt for you today, only for today, okay? And you hear it here. You heard it from here, nowhere else. It is not from a Chinese, it's not in English, it's not, I haven't explained this yet in the past. Today, I'm hungry, so I'm trying to impress you so that you're so impressed you don't ask more silly questions so we can move on and have lunch. Biệt Chuan is transmit, okay? Transmit the Dharma, okay? Chan is I transmit to you. We transmit to you. Okay, Chan. When we say, sit, get in full lotus, that's a transmission of the Dharma. Is it clear? That's transmission, all right? And don't ever assume that we must transmit it to you. Not at all, okay? You have to do something to earn the transmission. You have to drive here. You have to look it up on the internet, which is very hard to find because we are obscure people, okay? There are plenty more materials on the internet. You do a search on meditation on Chan, you should have like 10,000 hits an hour, is about 9,987. If you're lucky. Okay? So that's why the Chuan here is very special. It's a transmission. So you earn that transmission. So far, so good? You have to earn it. You have to do something to earn it. You have to make an effort. You have to endure the pain. You have to, I don't know, okay? Whatever, do something difficult, okay? And if you don't have to earn it, then what kind of transmission are you getting? Oh, not way out. So far, so good. So if you keep on doing something difficult and keep on doing it, then you're earning the transmission, future transmissions. Ask that woman there, Master YongHua's disciple in the back. Look at her. Okay? Ask her. She's been here for over 10 years. Ask her how many times I gave her instructions. Ask her. Someone ask her. Don't let me ask her. She'll be saying, "Oh, I disagree with you." Huh? How many times did I teach her how to do meditation? Ask her. I asked her in Vietnamese. Anyone know Chiu Chow? Ask her in Chiu Chow. She's too childless person. Huh? Ask her. How many times did I give her instructions? How many times? Hey, woman, tell me. Hey, disciple of Master YongHua, go something. How many times? You're disciple of my teacher with the same level, same generation. How many times did I teach you? If she's honest, she'll tell you no more than I can count the fingers on my one hand, not even two hands, one hand. Yes or no? Ask her.
Khó trả lời anh thầy.
He says it's very difficult to answer because she can't even count. See that? So my very point is that the transmission is earned. You can never assume in Weiyang's lineage that you're entitled to the transmission. Is it clear? All of you people who are not here, okay? Is that clear? Nod your heads. If you understand that, nod your heads. So I understand you register it. You have to earn it. That's our Weiyang lineage. I earn every single thing my master taught me. So he taught me only 5 times. That's it. No more. Personally, 5 times. BA is personally. That's BA. Is it clear? The BA is not others. It's special. It's only for you. I talk like this, but as you sit there and you listen, you say, it applies to me. That's called BA. It sounds like I'm talking right now, I'm just BSing. I'm talking a lot, saying a lot of nonsense, waving my hands and making a clown of myself. But as you listen, some of you say, that's for me. That's what I'm going to do. That's BA right there. That BA Chuan is disguised in a talk like this. Okay? It's not like I have to come to you and say, let me do a BA Chuan for you. You don't have enough money for that. Okay? I do that only when you are special. I'm not lying to you. 5 times, that's all my master taught me. 5 times, that's it. For me, to me personally, 5 times. Not even 6. Because I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. Well, oh boy, those 5 times, pain in the you know what. I wish he only talked to me 1 or 2 times. 5 is too many. First time, I still can't do it. The first time he taught me, okay, I asked him to lead the home life. He said, done. As 25 years later, I still cannot do it. Took me 11 years to understand that that's the instruction. Okay? Took me 11 years Then I said, oh, that's the BH1. 11 years later. I could have given up easily. But no, after 11 years, I said, one day I was sitting there meditating, oh wow, that's a BH1. I was jumping up and down, oh, this is so cool, this is so wonderful. Then the leg pain came. All right? So BH1, that BH is a special transmission that only for you. Okay? You don't need oneness. The oneness is for everyone. You can read it anywhere, yes? The oneness is just a word. The BH1 is the instruction for you to see the oneness, to experience the oneness. It's beyond the teachings. The teachings only give you the theory. The Chan gives you how to experience the oneness, how to experience, to realize, to certify to the theory. That's why in Mahayana we put so much emphasis in Chan, because Chan is how we help you experience it. Ti Hui, the theory. Is it clear? Without Chan, it's very difficult for you to quickly Ti Hui, the teaching. To personally, Ti is your body, Hui is to understand. Your body understands, meaning to, I don't know, whatever it means. I don't know how a body can understand. You figure it out. Does it help? That's why. Don't ever assume that we talk like this here and say, oh, this happens a lot. You know, I have an old monk who says, Master is talking so easy. I heard this before. No, you haven't. You sit there long enough, maybe one day, one of them will be, that aha moment. It's like, aha, that's what I need to do. Aha. Okay? It's funny. My old monk, he sits there and says, as soon as I started talking, going to a thing that I heard before, he enters samadhi, sleep samadhi. Okay? Because he's hungry to learn new stuff. Okay? New concepts, new things. And that's agreed for learning new things. Okay? There's no need for that. All right. Does it help? Okay, we're done with the questions. Thank you, everyone. We invite you to go have lunch. That Master YongHua disciple did not